Months of heavy fighting have engulfed the area around Bakhmut, a town that is central to Putin's aim to seize the Donbas region. While the two sides have fought bitter battles over Bakhmut, military analysts argue that control of the city has more symbolic power than strategic importance. Ukrainian troops are still holding positions in and around the besieged city and have issued requests for more weapons as they try to repel more Russian attacks. The Russian Wagner Group's mercenary troops, on the other hand, are rumored to be leaving the town of Bakhmut, which they have been trying to take since last summer. Wagner had played a key role in the months-long assault on Bakhmut, a notorious battlefield of limited strategic value. A video footage shows the 43rd Artillery Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, showing how much Russian equipment and ammunition they destroyed recently towards Donetsk. The brigade destroyed a large tank, an armored patrol car, 2 guns and 3 supply depots. They know unmanned airborne vehicles, whose operators know their numbers, correct artillery fire on them, and record the results. Hundreds of salvo tanks, which in 3 Vipaka the Ukrainian defenders managed to destroy 2 cars standing in one by one. On the other hand, the armed forces of Ukraine in the Zaporozhye direction also destroyed the Russian invaders' BM-21 Grad rocket salvo fire systems, which were stationed by the enemy near field roads. The first explosion occurred not far from the Grad, after which several intervening people fled from the car. The second shot was a direct hit after the powerful explosion, and the MLRS caught fire. Yevgeny Prigozhin, founder of the Russian paramilitary group Wagner Group, announced on Friday that its fighters would leave the eastern Ukrainian city of Bakhmut on May 10 due to a lack of ammunition. In a message posted on Prigozhin's Concord Company press service, Prigozhin addressed Russian President Vladimir Putin, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, and Chief of the General Staff Valery Gerasimov. Prigozhin's Wagner Group was heavily involved in the months-long fighting for Bakhmut. Hours earlier, he had published a sobering video aimed at Shoigu and Gerasimov, blaming them and their failure to provide more ammunition for the deaths of his fighters. In the last 18 hours, missile and artillery units of the Ukrainian Defense Forces attacked 5 concentration points of weapons and military equipment, 3 ammunition and fuel and lubricants depots, anti-aircraft defense equipment, and 5 other important targets belonging to the Russian invaders. This was, among other things, reported by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in an evening report published on the official Facebook page. At the same time, the press service of the 56th Separate Motorized Infantry Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said that its drone operators adjusted the gunfire, and as a result, a large enemy ammunition depot and several attackers were destroyed. The released video was taken by the same drone and shows a powerful explosion from the warehouse. People's Deputy and Volunteers Yuri Maisegin claims that it happened in the Bakhmut direction. As reported by Ukrinform, in the Donetsk region, border guards prevented attempts by the Russian invaders to take new positions and forced them to retreat with losses. Air and mortar reconnaissance is a hellish tandem for the invaders. The DPSU soldiers detected the movements of the invaders in the Donetsk region with the help of UAVs. Under the cover of greening, the occupiers tried to take up new positions. The enemy's coordinates were passed on to the border guard mortar units, after which precise fire forced the enemy to retreat with losses, the message read. Meanwhile, the Ukrainians carried out limited counteroffensives southwest of Bakhmut, Ivanivsky district, and the route from Bakhmut to Kostyantynivka and Chasiv Yar. This was stated by the American Institute for the Study of War in a recent summary of the situation at the front, without clearly indicating the results. However, the words counterattack indicated its sure success. More important to Russia than the sporadic airstrikes is the establishment of a strong defensive line. While Russian forces and Wagner's paramilitary forces are still attacking Bakhmut, most of Russia's attention in 2023 is focused on defense. After the humiliating withdrawal from Kherson and the Kharkiv region last fall, Russia has gone to great lengths to ensure such a feat does not happen again. The General Staff of the Ukrainian Armed Forces reported on May 6 that Russia had lost 193,770 troops in Ukraine since the start of its full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes the 560 casualties suffered by Russian forces over the past few days. The Ukrainian Air Force carried out 10 raids on areas of concentration of Russian troops and equipment and intercepted 10 drones of various types. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported. According to the General Staff, they included 5 Shade 136 131st drones, 1 Orlan 10, 1 Cub, 1 Lancet, and 2 Zala drones. Russian troops are reportedly concentrating their efforts on carrying out strikes against Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Marinka in Donetsk Oblast. Ukrainian forces repulsed about 50 Russian attacks in that direction, according to the military. Over the past 24 hours, Russia has launched 8 missiles, 49 airstrikes, and 82 NLRS strikes against Ukraine. In addition, it was confirmed that the Defense Force destroyed 12 attackers, 2 self-propelled artillery installations, 2 electronic warfare stations, 2 cars, and the invaders' Supercam unmanned aerial vehicle. The unpleasant thing was that the presence of field supply points indicated the permanent position of the colonists on the islands at the mouth of the Dnieper. Avdiivka has been one of the main targets of a Russian winter offensive that it hopes will revive its invasion of Ukraine, but has been able to make little territorial advances in the east. Avdiivka's population has dwindled as Russian troops targeted the town to try to take it, the local governor said. The Russian army spent the whole winter trying to break through the Ukrainian lines and for the most part failed. To the extent that Russia has captured additional territory, a microscope is needed to see that advantage on the map. Bakhmut was still not fully captured after 8 or 9 months of assault.